Let me ask you something. Have you ever waited for the perfect moment to start something? To start that business? To get in shape? To finally go after that goal you've been thinking about for years? Well, let me tell you a story that might change the way you think about success forever. A photography professor split his students into two groups. Group 1, the quantity group, their grade depended on how many photos they took. 90 photos equals an A, 80 equals a B, etc. Group 2, the quality group, they were graded on just one photo. It had to be perfect. Now, which group do you think took the best photos? Most people assume it's the quality group. After all, they had time to focus on perfection, right? Wrong. Almost all of the best photos, the ones you'd actually want to look at, came from the quantity group. Why? Because while the quality group was stuck overthinking, the quantity group was actually doing the work. They experimented. They learned through trial and error. They figured out lighting, angles, and composition by actually taking action. Meanwhile, the quality group? They spent way too much time planning, stressing over making everything perfect, and as a result, they never got the same real-world experience. And this is exactly what happens in life. Perfectionism keeps you stuck. We all do this. I'll start once I have the perfect plan. I'll go for it when I feel 100% ready. I just need to prepare a little more. But what if that moment never comes? This is what therapist Phil Stutz calls exoneration, the false belief that one day, life will magically become easy. That if you just wait long enough, you'll finally have enough confidence to go after your dream. You'll finally know exactly what to do before starting. You'll be exempt from struggle. But here's the cold, hard truth. That moment doesn't exist. Most people waste their entire lives waiting for the right time. And then they wake up one day and realize they ran out of time. This reminds me of a famous psychology study from 1967 called Learned Helplessness. It's a little dark, but it explains a lot about human behavior. Researchers put dogs into three groups. Group 1, if they pressed a lever, they could escape a mild electric shock. Group 2, same thing, pressing the lever stopped the shocks. Group 3, this is where it gets sad. They got shocked, but pressing the lever did nothing. No escape. No control. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Later, all the dogs were put into a new situation where all of them could escape by simply walking away. But guess what? Group 3 didn't even try. They had been conditioned to believe that nothing they did mattered. So they gave up. And humans do this too. The person who's tried and failed to lose weight, so they stop trying. The artist who's struggled to make money, so they assume they'll never succeed. The person who's been heartbroken one too many times and says, "Love just isn't for me." That mindset keeps people trapped. But here's the good news, you can break free. Let me tell you about my friend Eric. He was stuck in a downward spiral of bad habits, partying, and feeling lost. At his lowest point, even his closest friends stopped inviting him places, because they didn't trust what he'd do. That moment hit hard. Then one day, he made a decision, and no more excuses. He quit drinking cold turkey. Even though it almost made him go blind for a few days. He had just $3 in his pocket, but he saved them as a reminder that he'd never be broke again. Since that day, he never has been. Now, he's in a successful band, owns a home, and has a life that most people only dream about. And his advice? Don't live on the fence. Make a decision and commit. There's one last piece to this puzzle, forgiveness. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Most people carry around guilt, shame, and regret over things they wish they'd done differently. But holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. When you let go, you free yourself to move forward. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Just start. Because the only way to get better is to do more reps. Drop a comment in the comment section stating what you will stop waiting for but start doing now. If you want to dive deeper, subscribe to my channel to get notified when new videos are uploaded.